Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here. We are here, y'all, for Love After Lockup, Season 5. We are on episode 46. I know that sounds crazy, 46. But that's what we on. They calling this Love Bombs. But we're gonna retitle it like we always do. We calling it a baby fever. Because everybody on here got baby fever. Everybody's talking about having a baby. And so we're going to have to talk about that. But let y'all know, I know I'm behind. All of y'all been reminding me that where is the review of Queen's Court? I have not done one for several weeks. I've been so behind. But I'm here to let y'all know. I got Love After Lockup today. Tomorrow, I got to do my Married at First Sight. So that's going to have to be tomorrow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch up on Queen's Court. And then I'll try to catch up on 90 Day Fiance too. So y'all bear with me. I know I'm a little bit late. I can really only do one video a day because I got a job. And so that's just where we are. Hopefully you guys can give me a little grace. But here, let's get going and let's keep talking about this Love After Lockup and all this baby fever going on. Well, the one couple we know ain't having no baby is Brittany and Kerok. At least not naturally, not yet. Not yet, because y'all were the ones that told me Kerok is transitioning. And I'm going to tell you something. Every time I see him, I say to myself, wow, I would never know. Except one time I looked at him recently and I was like, okay, I can't see the hips. I can see the hips a little bit more. But anyway, right now, they not talking about a baby. The most they talking about is trying to get to Texas. They still trying to get to Texas. And this episode, Kerok was hotter than fish grease because Brittany had that man spend that money on that wedding, tuxedos. She went out and brought that expensive dress, hair, nails, dress, shoes, all of it. Went up there to that pond, lake, wherever they are, and then finally told him the truth and let him know the parole officer said we shouldn't get married. It ain't a good idea. It's going to make us look like scammers. Basically, that's what the parole officer said. And Kerok was hot. He was like, what is this? All of a sudden you backing out. And he was a little suspicious. He was like, well, are you really telling me this because this is what the parole officer said? Or are you really not ready to get married? Kerok is a little paranoid. She telling you the truth, Kerok. She really is telling you the truth. But he don't want to hear it. He don't want to hear it because he said, I feel like a fool. I feel like a fool here on national TV doing all this work for you, trying to give you everything you need. And you wait to the very last minute to tell me we ain't going to get married. Yeah, that's what happened. He said, I ain't that type of guy. I'm not the type of guy that does this half-ass stuff. I'm either all in or I'm all out. Which one are you, Brittany? Are you all in or are you all out? And she said, no, baby, I'm all in. I really do want to marry you. It's just that this ain't the way to go about it. Plus, what she always been saying is she want a real wedding. She want a big wedding with her family, your family, everything. She want the whole shebang. She don't want this little on the pond thing with just Mr. Coffee, Miss Coffee, Mr. Coffee there, and a dog. No, she says, I want my family there. And he hot. He's so hot. He said, that's fine. We ain't got to get married, but I'm leaving. I'm going to Texas, and I'm going without you. She goes, oh, no, you're not. No, you not going without me. He goes, oh, yes, I am. What's you going to do? Stop me? She goes, I sure am going to stop you. She spent the next 10, 15 minutes running around trying to chase him. They out in the front of the apartment crying, arguing and stuff. And they're like, we need to keep our voices down because we in a good neighborhood over here. And this neighborhood over here, there could be a Karen walking around about to call the police talking about we got 2 black people over here screaming and yelling. And next thing you know, I'm a felon. I'm back in jail. He's like, keep your voice down. Keep your voice down. That is something you got to live with when you know you already been in jail and and people are quick to try to put you back in there. You really don't want the police to be called for no reason whatsoever. So you do got to you got to be on your P's and Q's. Is that what they say? Be on your P's and Q's because if not, you could get wrapped up one more time. But anyway, finally, Brittany convinced him to say, hey, Kerok, we're not talking about we never going to get married. And I'm not saying that you can't go to Texas, but let's give it a week. Who knows? Something may come through in a week. Give the parole officer a chance Let's go through this appeal. Let's go through what we need to do. We only need one more week. We already been here for almost 3 weeks. We just need to wait one more week. After that 1 week, if it don't work out, I'm okay with you going to Texas without me. And that's where they ended. That's where they ended. Because Kerok's like, I got to go make some money. We've been sitting over here for a whole month living off of our savings. And what Brittany don't understand is Kerok obviously is the breadwinner, because I ain't heard Brittany mention nothing about no job, nothing. So it looks like she's going to be a stay-at-home wife, because Kerok's like, I need to make some money. And he said, we just can't be sitting over here in Miss Coffee's apartment all the time on this air mattress on the floor, surrounded by all these knickknacks in this house full of clutter. No. So, they ain't got no baby fever, not yet. But the other couple that got baby fever as we move on is Bianca and Daniel. Bianca got baby fever. I don't know what, I really don't see Bianca as being no good mama. I'm sorry, y'all. Should I say that? Bianca's so selfish, y'all. How's she going to be a good mama, be as selfish as she is? Ugh, I don't like Bianca. Daniel finally got a job. He got a job, y'all. He finally got a job with a moving company. He was looking for a job. Nobody was giving him a job because he's an ex-felon. But finally, he stumbled upon a moving company. And I think a lot of moving companies hire ex-cons. So just so y'all know, when you getting ready to move, you best be knowing that maybe at least 20-30% of the men are going to be ex-cons. As long as you're okay with it. As long as you're okay with it. But, everybody needs a second chance. Everybody needs a chance to be able to reintegrate into society, so that they're not doing jobs or trying to do things that are illegal. So we do need more pathways for, I believe, that's just me. We need more pathways for ex-cons, ex-felons, whatever you want to call them, to integrate into society the right way. So I'm glad to hear this man gave Daniel a second chance to be working with his moving company. This man, he said he did some time himself. Come to find out, he did 9 months. That ain't the same, but okay, I give it to you. But he said he did 9 months. He got out. Nobody would give him a job. And he said the only person that would give him a job is his father. There you go. See, that's what I said. That's what's called a little bit of privilege, right? When you have someone in your family that can give you a second chance. And privilege is in all types of family. I mean, my family got privilege. I ain't gonna lie. My family got privilege. Lots of people in my family own businesses. So plenty of times when we've had cousins, second cousins, people's sons, people's daughters, folks trying to get back on their feet. Let me tell you, my family and the businesses that my family has oftentimes given people chances to get some job experience on their resume, do all certain kind of things. Shoot, it's what you do. I mean, it's a blessing to be able to give people a second chance. Shoot. When a lot of y'all know I do real estate, and I had apartments for rent, and I put people on the payroll as my apartment manager so they could have some management experience on their resumes and stuff. I did it. I ain't gonna lie, I did it. Shoot, white people do it all the time. And so anyway, this man said he has some privilege to start working with his father. And then once he worked with his father, he was able to get his own truck, start his own business. And so now he's trying to pay it forward. That's how I look at it. Pay it forward. Shoot, my first job that I ever worked with was with my daddy. Shoot. So I guess I learned it. I guess I learned this idea about, when people don't want to hire you out in the street, you find a friend or someone. Hopefully you have someone in your circle that can do it. But the unfortunate thing is a lot of people don't have that. That's why it is privilege. It absolutely is privilege to have someone in your circle, whether it be family member or friends, that can give you a job. And, like I said, I don't want to say like I was paying nobody a lot of money, because it really wasn't about paying a person a lot of money. What it was about was giving them job experience so that they could have something on their resume, so that when the employer called, I could say, yeah, they're my employee. Yeah, they work for me. This is what they do. And it was all the truth. It wasn't that I was lying about that, but I didn't need to tell them that it was my cousin or my nephew. I didn't need to tell them. We didn't share the same last name. So what difference does it make? Anyway, sometimes it's just about having, that skill on your resume. So anyway, I'm all off base. That guy went ahead and gave Daniel a second chance. So I was happy about him. So he's working. It's part-time. And when he told Bianca it was part-time, she's like, ugh, I thought you was going to get full-time. Ugh. Well, you know what, Bianca? You want Daniel over here cooking and cleaning for you, getting you coffee, cooking you breakfast. He said he making $20 an hour, which is great. $20 an hour. I think they over in Arizona, so I think they got a high. They like California. These jobs, these minimum wage now is high out here. Cost of living is high too, but minimum wage is higher. He said he's making $20 an hour, working part time. Hopefully, he can build up to being full time. But Bianca ain't happy about nothing. First, she was mad that he didn't have a job. Now she mad that the first job he gets is only part time. Then he needs to get to work. She says, I'm tired of driving you around. So he's like, well, how am I supposed to get to work? She says, well, I don't know. I'll take you, but I'm not going to be taking you all the time. Then he goes to work. He done worked 4 hours, whatever. He all sweaty from moving furniture. He called Bianca like, where are you? I thought you was going to pick me up. She too busy in some little shop buying knickknacks for $200, talking about, I don't want to have to pick you up. And he has to take an Uber for $30. Girl, Bianca's a saboteur. You know, she's really controlling. In one way, she wants to tell Daniel to get a job, but really what she wants Daniel to do is she wants him to get put down. She wants to put him down. Because now what she's intent on doing is she wants him to spend every little bit of money he has on Ubers. And she's like, well, I want time for myself to do what, Bianca? You just been calling all your friends talking about how you lonely, you ain't got nothing to do, and you sitting around all day. Now all of a sudden you got something to do. You can go pick up Daniel. But now you don't want to do that either. Bianca got mental illness issues. She don't need to be no mama. She really don't need to be a mother. She over here calling one of her girlfriends, telling her girlfriend, hey, can you come out here and spend some time with me because I'm lonely. I ain't got nothing to do. And now that Daniel's working part-time, he's out my hair. She over here telling her friend, I think Daniel love bombed me. Daniel love bombed you? How is that? What type of promises could Daniel give you when he was in prison? No, I think the other way around is, Bianca, you love bombed Daniel. This is what I really believed happened. So she said, oh yeah, I think he's taking advantage of me with all my money and everything. Girl, your money gonna be gone because the way she spend money, the things she spends money on, like Daniel was saying, she got a little money now. We don't know how much. Bianca just keeps saying she got money from this lawsuit settlement. But if you think about it, she ain't worked in I don't know how many years. So I don't know how long this money's gonna last. I don't know how much she got. I don't know if she got millions. I don't know what she got. But she's a young girl. She's a young girl. So unless she got tens and tens of millions of dollars, which I don't think she did, she gonna run out of money because she spend money like water. And she ain't got no sense. And I don't even think she got any job skill. Pretty soon she gonna need a relative to give her a job. Watch. Wait for it. Watch and wait for it. He talking about I'm up here giving him a roof over his head. I paid for him while he's in prison. You did all this. You did all this because you was basically trying to buy yourself in servitude. Because when he got out, you all talking about what he needs to do for you. She talking about she a sugar mama. Girl, you ain't no sugar mama. You a sour patch. Sugar mama, ain't nothing sweet about Bianca. Nothing is sweet about Bianca. It's all sour. It's a sour patch. It absolutely is a sour patch. Now, we're going to move on to the other couple with baby fever. And their baby fever is coming strong. It's Michael and Justine, because they ain't just talking about a baby. They about to have one. And Justine is, I don't know how far along she is, but that belly is poking out. She looked very far along. And they still fighting over what would happen if something happened to her during childbirth. But she holding firm. She said, Michael, I'm sorry to tell you that I'm not going to leave custody of my biological kids to you. You can have your kids, but my kids is going to go to my daughter. The daughter don't even want custody of them kids. Like I said before, Justine is selfish. She really is selfish. They showed a couple of previews of what happened before Love is After Lockup. Remember, y'all, I never did see Justine and Michael in the original series, which is, I guess, when they were in prison or just getting out. So I guess that's when I'm getting caught up that Michael's mama never really liked Justine. And she thought that Justine was trying to, I guess, trap Michael by getting pregnant And the mama told her, I need you to take this DNA paternity test because I don't believe that this is Michael's baby. So I guess they got some bad blood between them. Well, lo and behold, Michael's mom is coming to live with them. Because guess what? Michael's mama had a whole fire in her house. Just like that other couple, Troy and Zariah. Everybody's houses is burning down around here. So Michael's mama house burned down back wherever she lives. I don't know where she lives. But now she homeless. So she going to come out here and live with Justine and Michael. And come to find out, they've been lying to the mama all this time. Never told them Justine is pregnant with a whole nother baby. They're like, we don't want her showing up with another DNA test. So we're going to see. We don't get to really see the reaction. It happens at the very end. Justine and them trying to cover it up. And mama's down here. And they're going to be doing the big reveal. Talking about a gender reveal. This is called just a pregnancy reveal. This is going to be a pregnancy reveal. So I guess next week we're going to get to see the mama's reaction and see what she got to say. But she probably going to keep her cool somewhat because she got to live with him. Before she had her own house, she could sit over there and throw shade and throw some dirt, and she could go back to her own house. But she ain't going to be able to say too much because she got to live with him now. She may not like it. She may think it's a bad idea like all the rest of us. But she probably ain't going to chime up too much. We'll see. We shall see. And then talk about folks trying to check their attitudes. We got to see Kim and Joey going to the lawyer's office to see about this divorce. Joey said, come on, Kim, we got to go down here. You need to find you a lawyer because we need to go down here and start seeing about this divorce that you've been lying about all this time. You ain't never filed for the divorce. And we start to find out just what I thought. We start to find out that the reason Kim doesn't really want to know whether Joey is the biological father of those kids she got is because that ex-husband of hers, well, he ain't even really the ex, is paying some really hefty child support. $2,500 a month. That's a little bit of a coin. That's a coin based on where these two are living. I kept saying, how is Kim on $15 an hour able to afford buying Joey a car, Joey rims and tires? Now she talking about buying a house and she make only $15 an hour. And that's because she getting $2,500 a month from that father, that ex-husband. $2,500 a month. That's some good child support. That's definitely paying her entire rent because I think the house she's trying to buy is only $1,500 a month. So now we see it. Now we see why Kim does not want to find out if Joey is the real father of one of those children, because guess what the lawyer told her? The lawyer told her that there's a good possibility if he is the daddy, he can stop having to pay child support, and all that child support that he's been paying, the court can order you to pay it back. Kim is something else. Kim is something else. Joey don't trust Kim because what Joey said was, do I trust her? No, because Kim has cheated on. Kim has cheated on every man she's ever been with except for one. Kim is something else. She really is something else. And now she sat up here in front of this lawyer. The lawyer said, well, what happened with the marriage? Why did it fall apart? She sat up there and told that lawyer that they were married in 2018 and he had an affair and that's why they got divorced. That's what she started off. That was the story she started off with. And later on, she come out with the complete story, which the real story is prior to that man even having an affair when they were married, Kim had an affair. Kim and the man were going together, or Kim and the man were in a relationship. Kim went over there and slept with Joey. That's why she don't really know who the real father is, because before she was married to the man, she was going out with him, but she was over there having a rendezvous with Joey. Then Joey goes to jail. She winds up pregnant. So what does she do? She does what a money-hungry woman does. She said, well, Joey ain't going to be paying no child support. I'm pregnant. So I'm going to make this man on the outside that can afford to pay $2,500 a month, I'm going to make him the daddy of this son. And I'm going to go ahead and get married to him. And that's what they did. She went ahead and got married to that man. Later on, I guess he did cheat on her, but she said, that's okay because I'm going to keep this $2,500 a month. That man signed that birth certificate. He assumed fatherhood of that child. And that's the way it's been going. That's the way it's been going. And that lawyer said, well, did you ever reconcile your relationship with that man at any time? She goes, no. Basically, she was saying, did you ever sleep with him in between that time? And she said, no, I don't believe it. I believe she did. I really do believe she did because she wanted to keep that money coming in. And at that time, Joey was in prison. Joey knows the truth. Joey is really keen on what Kim is doing. And one of the reasons he's with Kim is because it is helping him out too. This is a hot mess, y'all. This is a hot mess. He says she ain't never been faithful to any man. None whatsoever. So now they got to figure out whether or not this other son is really Joey's or is it the ex-husband. And the lawyer told her, girl, you don't need to be getting no house. Why you so messy, Kim? Why do you need to get a house right now? No, she said first of all, you need to make sure this divorce is final. And second of all, you need to make sure you're going to have some money to pay this mortgage because you might be losing some child support pretty soon, Kim. Now Kim is all nervous. Oh, I hope I don't have to pay back no child support. That's a lot of money, $2,500 or half of that. And that boy is at least, I don't know, maybe 7 years old. He at least 7 years old. 7 years or $1,200 a month. That's a lot of money. And Joey said, don't worry about it. We'll set up a payment plan at $10 a month. Joey said, don't worry. If we got to pay back tens of thousands of dollars, we will set up a payment plan for $10 a month. These two, they deserve each other. They really, really, really do. But talk about getting jobs, talking about money. Guess who got a job? Teeny. And Teeny got one fast. Who knew that Teeny had all these job skills? Teeny says, I'll show you, Rob. I'll show you. I can make some money. Teeny went out there in the workforce, interviewed with a couple of jobs, and guess what? She got her a job right away. She can pay $50,000 a year. There you go, Teeny. There you go, girl. She said, listen, I ain't been in the workforce for I don't know how many years. I went right out there into the workforce. I got me a job as a paralegal assistant, and she making $50 an hour. Not $50 an hour. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. She making $50,000 a year. So they said, let's go out and celebrate. Let's go out and have us dinner. Have us a little sexy night. Order us some drinks, some Double Crown. They sitting around talking and everything. And now I guess Rob can get that tattoo taken off. Because that was the deal, Rob. The deal was if Teeny got a job, you could get that tattoo covered up. So I'm expecting to see an episode where Rob gonna be getting that tattoo covered up. It's got to be coming. Because Teeny held up her end of the bargain, and she did go back and apologize to Rob. She said, "Listen, I'm sorry. I was being petty. When I was, throwing shade for shade and telling you to get that tattoo, I was just upset because you was trying to talk to me all nasty about getting a job. And so, I apologize for having a bad attitude." And Rob is like, that's good because I got a lot of pressure on me. I know how I provided for the family when I was in prison, when I was gambling, and I was making $7,000 a month gambling in prison. Well, I'm not making that now outside of prison. So, I got a little bit of pressure on me. So next thing you know, Rob decides he's gonna go shoot a few little basketball at the basketball court at the gym with his daddy. We got to see his daddy. His daddy is short. Are we sure that's his real daddy? Are we sure? I mean, I could see that they kind of had some things that they favored each other in some ways. But in another way, I was like, how is Rob so tall and the daddy so short? I mean, I guess the mama was his mom is kind of tall. I don't know. I don't want to cause no problems. I don't want to cause any problems. But anyway, they got to talk. They started talking about generational curses because I guess his daddy went to prison too. His daddy was able to beat some charges, some murder charges at that. I guess he was put in jail over some drive-by shooting or something. I don't know. They didn't go into it too much. I got a little lost in the conversation. But I guess he beat the charges. But he knows what prison life is like because he spent some time in there. Maybe he spent some time over some other things. I don't know. But he also mentioned that I think Rob got 2 strikes. I think he let it slip that Rob ain't just an ex-felon. He got 2 strikes, so he can't catch another strike. One more strike, I think he'd get life. So he gonna need to be on the straight and narrow too. But that father said, yeah, I can. Rob kind of covered for Teeny, talking about Rob said his mama put hands on Teeny. No, actually it was the other way around. Teeny put hands on your mama. But I guess he covering for his wife. But that daddy was like, I can believe it. I can believe it. I guess he don't have really that many good feelings about Rob's mama. Well, we know Rob's mama is a piece of work, but she didn't deserve to be mushed in the face like Teeny did. She is a piece of work, but she didn't deserve to be mushed. Don't nobody deserve to be mushed in the face. That was out of hand, Teeny. That was really out of hand. But the reason why they got baby fever is because when they went out, Rob was like, okay, now that you got a job, I got a job, we got money coming in, I want to have a baby. What? Really? Teeny's like, I'm 34 years old. Teeny's like, I'm scared to have another baby because these last two children I have ain't worked out well in terms of the biological fathers. My first daughter, Cheyenne, who's just so lovely, her father died. And now the second daddy, Nehemiah, his daddy, he ain't even around. We don't even really, he a ghost in everybody's life. So she said, I'm lucky to have you to come in and step up and be the father to them, but I couldn't take having a third baby by a third man and that man walk away too. So she says, I'm nervous. I got trauma. Trauma. But honest with you, she going to have to get past her trauma because what does she expect? For Rob to not have any biological children, for Rob to love her kids, really embrace them like his own, but then he can never have a biological child of his own. She really ain't got no choice. Be honest with you. She will look crazy. She will look crazy expecting Rob to continually raise her children, but him wanting to have a children, not doing it. And she's only 34. She could have another baby. She could. So she knows she got to do it. So they go on in there after their little date night. They go on and shut the door. They throw all the condoms out the door, and they say, "Let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking. Let's make a baby. Let's make this a baby making factory up in here." At least she got a job and she gonna get some health care benefits, and she also maybe get some baby leave, some maternity leave. Keep that job for them benefits. Keep the job for the benefits. So we'll see. Maybe pretty soon we'll be hearing that they pregnant too. But at least I was happy to see that they was using condoms because they had a whole drawer full of them. So at least they were practicing safe sex. On the other hand, the couple that's not practicing safe sex is Bianca and Daniel. We knew they weren't practicing it. So we already know Bianca going to wind up pregnant. Bianca going to wind up pregnant. In fact, I heard she already pregnant in real life. So we know she going to wind up pregnant because they ain't practicing. We see Justine and Michael ended up pregnant. And the next person that's going to end up pregnant is going to be Zariah and Troy. That's who's going to be pregnant because Zariah already said she not on no birth control because the birth control was breaking her out. That's what she said. The birth control was breaking her out. And, which I'm trying to piece together this story with Zariah, that she's saying that she got off the birth control because that was breaking her out. Now, remember when Troy first got out, she had a lot of acne on her face. And I don't know if that was because she had started taking birth control prior to him getting out of prison. And so she was preparing for him to come. So she went on birth control. Maybe that's what she's saying. So her skin is clearing up. You can see that her skin is clearing up because she must have stopped doing the birth control. And so now she's telling Troy, I want to have a baby with you. And Troy's like, we can't afford no baby. Thank you, Zariah. Zariah is playing all kind of stuff with no money. She can't even pay her rent. She can't pay the rent at the office with this nonprofit that ain't making no profit. She can't pay the rent where they living in their apartment. She talking about getting married. She can't afford a wedding. She got to get her mom and daddy to pay for that. And now she's talking about having a baby she can't afford. Zariah got more than cyst on her face. She got cyst on her brain. Her brain don't work well. Troy is trying to tell her we can't afford no baby right now. We need to slow down. But Zariah want to give Troy a baby because she need to have one up on that other baby mama. She need to give him a baby. But right now, Troy is just interested in smoking this weed. He go, I've been smoking weed since I was 12 years old. And when I went in prison, weed wasn't available like this. You couldn't just go down to the local store and go in there and get you some weed. He's happy to be going on his first shopping spree. He said, we didn't have no dispensary. So he's going all in there shopping around like they shopping at Macy's. They so happy. They are so happy. And Zariah, she done took her gummy already. So she feeling good. And she telling him how happy he is that, he has embraced her son I forget what the son's name is. He got a name that's not always easy to pronounce. But anyway, she's happy that Troy has stepped in to be the father to that son. But yet Zariah is always trying to keep Troy away from his own daughter. Ugh. Can't stand that. Can't stand it. But they getting high in the park. He's all happy. But Troy, just because it's legal to buy weed, it still ain't legal to get high in public. So I don't know. You better be careful. You better be careful. So she talking about she ain't on birth control. So she gonna end up being pregnant pretty soon too, unless they start using condoms or some other kind of method that don't involve hormones, because obviously that's what broke her out. Israel, that's the name of the son. I got it right here. Israel. But something about to happen, because here we got during this episode, Troy is about to go out on a father-son afternoon and take Israel to the museum. And Zariah's all nervous, talking about, well, what if Israel runs away from you? I don't know if Israel's on the spectrum, because he's a big old boy. What do you mean run away? Why would Israel be running away from somebody and not listening? So I'm starting to think, I saw little things before. Y'all let me know down in the comments. Is Israel possibly on the spectrum? You rarely see Israel with Zariah. Rarely you see her here and there. I don't think he lives there all the time. I think he's with his grandparents a lot. So she's a little bit nervous about Troy going out with Israel on his own. So that makes me think that possibly he might be a bit on the spectrum. But Troy's like, I can handle him. I hope you can handle him, not high, Troy. I hope you can handle it. They ain't got no money to pay no rent, but they sure do got a lot of money to buy all this weed, marijuana, because that stuff's expensive. It ain't cheap. These dispensaries are not cheap. They're not cheap. So they know how to get high and spend their money on weed, but they can't pay no rent, no rent nowhere. Ugh. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all here with Love After Lockup. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Help me out. Don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. And I will see y'all tomorrow for Mavs, and I'll see y'all the rest of the week for Mavs and Queens Court as well. Talk to y'all later. Bye.